Oh, these girls. Oh my God. We're never booking a Dragula girl again. Oh
Never.
my God. She did the blood dripping out of the mouth. Danny, get the mop.
Get the
We have.
mop.
We.
No.
We.
That's not a mop. That's a wig.
Uh.
That's the art pop wig with the dreads. Put it
We
back.
have an act coming up next that we just know you are gonna love it. That's right. We are honored to have with us today a major player in the political pundit game, former speech writer in the Obama White House. Okay. Yeah. That's what we're doing.
Uh-huh.
One of the hosts of Pod Save America, the host of the podcast Love It or Leave It. This is welcome to the stage, Jon Lovett.
Start her track.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. It's so exciting to be here. It is frightening when I'm reminded that I was a speechwriter in the White House.
That's
that feels
wild.
Like a long time ago. Yeah. Hi.
There's lots of great gay speechwriters back in the histories. There's Bayard Rustin. There's you. That's all I can think of.
I think that's a good list.
That's enough.
I think it's a good
start.
Good list.
Thank you.
It's a really good list.
Thank you so much. How are you? What did you do this weekend? Were you at White Party or Circus, either of our events?
Unfortunately, no. I did not go to either of those events, but I heard great things.
Yeah, we're currently trying to
you.
dislodge this iceberg of ketamine from my nostril.
Oh my God. I want to ask you about, okay, this is what is in the front of everyone's minds right now. What is going on this good day that the Lord hath made with the Supreme Court abortion? We're recording this on May 4th, so this is just sort of coming about. Do you want to just like break it down for us?
Sure. So here's what happened. On Monday night, Politico, which is like a DC newspaper, a rag, if you will. No, they're fine. Two great reporters there said, we have gotten our hands on a draft opinion from the Supreme Court that says that they are going to overturn Roe versus Wade, that Samuel Alito, a right-wing judge, has written this draft opinion, that they have the 5 votes they need to do it. And beyond that, we had really not very much other information. It is extremely, extremely rare to have a leak like this from the Supreme Court. There are other leaks that have happened in history, but they're
the Pelican Brief. I saw it.
Yeah, the Pelican Brief, and obviously, famously, Stanley Tucci playing it very small, and that's something he did in that film, which is something we all remember. Before he went to Italy, he played it kept it very small, very contained, and that was the power Stanley Tucci brought to the Pelican Brief.
That was the first time he played a homosexual. He was an assassin homosexual.
He's also playing one in this reality show. They just don't. It's anyway. And another fun fact about the Pelican Brief is that Denzel Washington and Julia Roberts should have kissed.
They should have. They had a take where they did, but they cut it.
They cut it because of politics in the 90s.
I was the intimacy coordinator.
You were the
coordinator.
Wow, you must be one of the first intimacy coordinators was on that set, and you said this is too intimate. I'm not ready for this.
Give me the red wig. I'll show you how to do it.
You know all the angles, Willam. So.
Right.
So immediately there's this controversy over this leaked opinion, and conservatives are upset that it was leaked at all. The far bigger deal is that we could be on the precipice of the overturning of Roe versus Wade, which would, all these states across the country have passed these laws that they're sometimes called snapback laws, where if Roe versus Wade is ever overturned, instantly in a bunch of states, abortion is either heavily restricted or outright illegal. In some cases, even in the event of like rape or incest. It's incredibly draconian, incredibly dangerous. We don't know right now if this is the opinion that is going to come out of the Supreme Court. There's a bunch of different theories about why it was leaked. An angry progressive trying to warn us. The other theory is that a conservative leaked it to try to box in some of those conservative votes, because potentially in the week since this was written, this opinion was from February, they've maybe lost Kavanaugh and he's joined with Roberts and the liberals to maybe do something less draconian. We just don't know. But what is clear, and what has been clear for a while, like, this was an incredible gut punch. It's horrible, right, to imagine that we're going to backslide like this. Very few countries take away basic human rights unless they're about to become autocracies. But we knew for a while that the way the Supreme Court was headed was that in June, they were either going to overturn or severely restrict Roe, and that we were going to see a flood of new restrictions on abortion in a lot of red states controlled by a lot of red states and states controlled by Republicans. We knew that was coming, but now it feels very real. Like, now this is really potentially happening. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, but we can't pretend it's the people that were saying, "Oh, you're being dramatic. You don't know what they're going to do." Saying that they're going to overturn it. It's happening. This is the country we're living in.
Yeah, really, it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know exactly what the decision will be, but we know that we are headed towards some kind of a rollback of rights, for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
I guess it's just really baffling that I mean, first of all, that the majority of the country believes that abortion should be available and safe. That's like the majority of the great land believes that. But this president who had a revolt against the country and tried to overturn the government appointed a couple of random people who are now taking that away.
Non-elected officials who don't speak for us.
Yeah, what? So is that what?
How do we fix
what do we
this?
do? What do we do?
I saw Elizabeth Warren and she was screaming, and I've never seen her so angry, because she fought for these rights once upon a time and now she's doing it again. And you don't have to agree with abortion, but you should agree that it should be safe for a woman, not to go through with something like that with her own body if she doesn't want to. It's not like an easy decision for women to say, "Oh yeah, you know what, I'll just get rid of it." It's not easy. And to deal with someone from a faith point where "Oh, it doesn't make sense faith-wise for me to agree with this." It's that's fine. You don't have to believe in it, but as a human being, you should be sympathetic to another human being's plight of "I can't go through this with a baby right now. I don't have money for a kid. I don't have the means, the wherewithal." Why would people rather have someone who can't afford a kid who's on government assistance or something instead of a free or safe procedure? I don't understand. The Republicans are just boxing themselves in for complaining about something else later.
It's also, this is we are such a divided country. 70% of the country wants to see Roe versus Wade upheld. 70%. There are so few big issues where you have that kind of a majority. And yeah, you're right. These are unelected judges, but it's worse than that, right? George W. Bush lost the popular vote. Donald Trump lost the popular vote. They held a Supreme Court seat open so that Donald Trump can fill it. So this is a Supreme Court majority that it's an anti-democratic institution, but that's built into our system. But it was appointed by people who did not win the votes in the country, including a stolen seat. And by the way, some of this is just bad luck. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was white knuckling it. If she just is able to hang on to keep her soul inside of her body for 8 more weeks, just keep it inside your body. RBG. It might be a different outcome. So
how do we get rid of the Electoral College then? Because that's the main fucker, huh? Because that doesn't represent us either.
I think the most important thing that we can do right now. So what are the steps that need to happen?
Tell us.
We need to have a majority in Congress that can codify Roe as a law to protect the right through the law. So we're not relying on the court or the states. We can't do that right now because we don't have the votes. So we need more people who support basic bodily autonomy and reproductive health care access and the right to have an abortion in Congress. And, we were careening towards Democrats losing pretty badly in November. And we maybe still are, right? That really could be still where we're heading. I have no idea.
Wait, this November, there's another vote?
There's another one. I know. They keep coming, Time flies. time flies when you're having no fun whatsoever.
Biden's only been president for 2 years, though, right?
It has been. Yeah, he'll have been president for 2 years in November. That's correct.
Don't we only vote every 4 years?
No. Come on. We have a off year, a midterm election for Congress. We did our presidential year. Now we got to vote for members of Congress and we got to vote for the Senate. And if you want to get more information, you can go to votesaveamerica.com and you can learn all about it. And if you go to votesaveamerica.com/Roe, you can find out what you can do right now to fight in 2 ways. One, to protect access right now for people who need healthcare, especially in states with restrictive laws. And two, what you can do before November, because the only hope we have is that the vast majority of this country that does not want to see rights taken away, that not only doesn't want to see women denied access to basic healthcare, but also doesn't believe gay kids and gay teachers should be bullied, doesn't believe families with trans kids should be hunted for doing the right thing for their kids, who don't believe books should be banned or burned. Like, there is a great majority in the country that believes that. Republicans think they won't show up. We have to make sure they show up. If they show up in November, we can make them pay. And we can make sure that we protect people because we will have power. The answer to all of this, they are using their power. We need more power. So let's get some.
Yeah. So youngsters, if you're listening and you're not registered to vote, go to Vote Save America and find out where you can sign up and get on the right side of history, everybody. Everybody vote in November. I think I did a mail-in once, like when it wasn't the president's side, but my ex used to do it for me. But
we're gonna get you. We're gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote big, baby.
Yeah, we're gonna get you that ballot. Yeah. We're gonna get you that ballot, and it's very exciting.
Now, before we say goodbye, I want to ask you again about a major, sort of issue in the world. RuPaul's Drag Race.
Please.
Did you watch season 14 of RuPaul's Drag Race at all?
Yes, I watched the whole thing. Yes, I am a completionist. I have seen every season.
Oh yeah,
I am fully caught up. I am fully caught up. I'm in the UK now. I'm touring the world now. I got the app. I had to download the app.
VPN,
Yes, the whole thing. Yes.
Now, what would you say is more rigged, RuPaul's Drag Race or the Supreme Court?
Here's one thing that I love. My favorite part of some seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race is when RuPaul goes down the line of the contestants and says, "I think you're pretty good. I like what you're doing there. Not a fan of that. I'm going to make you the winner." And then continues down the row. And it's not even like I just think it is sincere. The Willow pill love was coming through so clearly in so many episodes. Like, it was almost like hey Bosco, would you mind turning yourself into a human chair so that I can sit on you and talk to Willow Pill for a while?
Very that. Yeah, it was.
I love it.
RuPaul has her favorites, for sure. Who was your favorite throughout the season?
I really liked Willow Pill. I loved Lady Camden. I loved Angeria.
Yeah.
Those were and I loved Bosco too. I did. I was sort of those were my those were the people that. Yep, exactly. And
my favorite was Maddie.
Yeah, you love Maddie.
Maddie Morphosis.
Hey,
true beauty.
What does straight mean to you?
Whoa.
What does it mean? I'm just in the dictionary. I'm asking a basic fact. Forget Maddie Morphosis. I'm not talking about that. Okay. Putting that aside, what does straight mean anymore in 2022 in this economy? Right. What does it mean?
Straight to me.
What does it mean?
It means $20 is not $20. It also means, in my head, the basic lowest common denominator of the word straight means a 1 on the Kinsey scale and a 0 in taste and style.
Okay. Wow.
That is my.
That's interesting.
What's your straight
That's
definition?
Okay.
I just think if you participate in gender nonconforming culture on national television, I don't know what you are, but listen, people should use the titles they want. I'm not, and again, I'm speaking generally. I'm not talking about any person.
Yeah.
I'm
Wait,
thinking
I didn't know
out
you were in
loud.
the military. You're a general?
Yeah, I'm a general.
For me,
I'm a general. For me, Yeah, no, totally.
Where can we find you on the internet, on the podcast world? Because Vote Save America that's not a podcast. That's an organization that has raised $54 million for voter registration, voter protection, grassroots organizations. And you've been doing that, killing it.
We've been doing it. You can go to votesaveamerica.com. That's where you can sign up. You can follow Pod Save America or Love It or Leave It. Those are the podcasts. You can check out crooked.com. Follow Jon Lovett at Twitter or Instagram. Those are fine. I don't care if you come there, to be honest, at this point.
Where do you like him to come?
At this point. You don't need fantastic. And Elon Musk's internet. Anywhere you want to find me on Elon Musk's internet is fine by me.
Right.
Can I ask you a question, Willam?
Yes.
What happened?
What?
Fuck.
With my career? Like,
No,
I fell off a little.
I know what
Sorry.
happened. I loved your career. I'm saying
What happened?
What happened? I want to understand. Here's what I don't understand. So you're on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh,
and then all of a sudden you're called to the front of the stage. And you're not disqualified, you're eliminated.
Okay.
Alaska's annoyed that I'm even bringing this up. Did too many people bring this up? Many people bring this up?
People do it all the time. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like today? And I don't realize that they're talking about something from 11 years ago in my head. When I was cast on the show, I knew that I was doing a show later that summer in New York.
That's what I thought it was. You just wanted out.
Oh, I went in knowing I was not going to be there the whole time that they were going to be filming. And then while I was there, they were just treating people very horribly. And so I just started breaking rules and like literally not crazy rules like going to the store and getting my stuff
you were trying to break up. You were in a relationship with RuPaul's Drag Race and you didn't want to break up with them. You wanted to be so terrible that they broke up with you.
Yes, that was the goal because I knew infamy is
that
from
sums it up.
Infamy comes not from winning. It's usually from like, fucking things up status quo wise. And I just thought that this would be better. Making my mark would be better than hitting my mark, I thought. And they were all happy that I did it once it all came out. They were like, you gave us great TV. One of the producers hugged me at the reunion. And he's like, thank you for everything you just did out there.
It was great TV.
I have a question for you. If you want to see all the reasons, you can go to, there's a tweet that Leslie Jones from SNL asked me about, and I listed like 4 pages worth of notes of every single thing I did. I was fighting for the side of the drag queens, at least.
Yes.
But you actually run a podcast network in Alaska, and I do that now kind of too. And you're one of the co-founders of Crooked Media, and we're the co-founders of Mom Podcasts. So like, what if we build like a podcast, like one of those Transformer things where it's
like a Gundam.
Yeah.
A Gundam.
Yeah,
or like a Power Ranger.
We'll hold it together with cum. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the best glue.
How do we do it?
How do you make cum?
I know that.
Do you have any advice as to running a podcast empire?
Do I have any advice on running a podcast empire? What's funny is like no matter what, whether they're like touring international musicians, whether they're like Miley Cyrus level musicians or somebody hosting a podcast, once somebody's in front of a microphone, they are fucking talent. and they will be treated as such. Thank you very much. That's all. That's all I've got.
Okay.
You know what else I liked about the one more note on this season of Drag Race, and this is not denigrating any of it. I just thought it was very funny, which is when they did the reunion and there was that moment where Jasmine Kennedy was talking about being trans, and it was very, very moving. And like, she's holding everybody's hands, and they spent like 3 or 4 minutes on like, this person came out as trans. They are trans. This is their journey. We are talking about this person and their journey. And then Ruth said to everybody else, hey, anybody else come out as trans this year? And like 4 other hands went up and nobody got a question.
Right.
I loved it.
Good. Anyway, coming up, I love that.
Thank you so much for joining us for today's tip spot.
Yes.
I loved it.
We can change out your ones at the bar in the back if you want.
Yes.
Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that.
No worries.
Where's the man with the money? Get the man with the money and tell him to come here and pay. Jon Lovett, darling.
Is a check okay?
fill out this W-9. There's no table. There is only a rack because it's in the kitchen of the
you
bar.
didn't bring a pen?
Oh my God.
Here, use this Sharpie.
How long have I been in this?
Use the whiteboard marker.
It was dumb of me not to bring a pen. I knew you were going to pay me my $8 in a check.
Yes. We thank you so much for doing the work that you do and for taking a moment to be our tip spot today. So thank you.
Taking a moment to enjoy the spew.
Yeah, and I did. I really did. Such fans of you both. This is so fun.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks. If you ever want to know everything I did, just call me and I'll tell you everything. We'll give you the rundown.
Okay.
We'll three-way in RuPaul. We're really close.
Okay. I love that for us.